Have you ever wondered why some Filipino brands like Jollibee and Bench succeed abroad, while others struggle to make a mark? The secret lies in global market research. In this video, we'll break down how businesses can understand foreign markets through secondary research, primary research, and online analytics, all explained with real Philippine examples. Whether you're a student, entrepreneur, or future global leader, this lesson will show you how the right research can turn a small local product into an international success story. So stay tuned, hit like, and let's dive into the world of global market research.
Hi, good day everyone. So again, we are in lecture 5, that's week 5, Global Market Research. Global market research is the systematic collection and analysis of data about international markets to support business decisions. It answers key questions. Who are the customers? What are their needs? How competitive is the market? What risks and opportunities exist? For the Philippine businesses aiming to expand abroad or attract foreign investors, research ensures that decisions are not based on guesswork but on facts and insights. The importance of international market research. Number 1, it reduces risk. Entering a foreign market involves high investment. Research helps avoid costly mistakes. It reveals opportunities. Businesses discover unmet needs, niche markets, or cultural trends. Shapes strategy. Provides data to adjust product, pricing, and promotion strategies to fit local context. For example, in the Philippines, Jollibee's global expansion relied heavily on market research. In the United States, they discovered that targeting Filipino diaspora first would create a loyal base before appealing to mainstream consumers. The methods of conducting research. Secondary research, or what we call desk research. This involves collecting and analyzing data already published by other organizations, institutions, or governments. It is cheaper, faster, and useful for an initial overview. So it means that you just sit on the desk, open your laptop, and use Google or a search engine. Okay, sources of secondary data. We have government trade reports. Example, Philippine Statistical Authority or PSA, Department of Trade and Industry or DTI. International organizations like World Bank, ASEAN data portals, and other online industry reports and market databases. Example, a Filipino coffee exporter can use data from DTI and International Coffee Organization to know which countries import most coffee and at what price. Before spending money on survey, they already know Germany and Japan are top buyers of premium beans. Let's go down to the primary research or the field research. This is collecting original data directly from the market. It provides fresh, specific, and actionable insight, but it's more expensive and time-consuming. Methods of primary research. We have number 1, surveys or questionnaires, gathering responses from potential customers abroad. Example, a Cebu-based furniture company surveys Japanese buyers to know if minimalist bamboo furniture fits Japanese apartment spaces. Next is conducting interviews or focus groups, speaking directly with foreign consumers or distributors. Example, a Davao mango exporter interviews Korean retailers to understand packaging preferences. They learn that smaller pack sizes sell better in Seoul supermarkets. Observation and field visit. Visiting stores, trade shows, and cultural hubs. A Pampanga food manufacturer attends Singapore's Food Expo to observe consumer interest in Philippine sauces. Test marketing. Launching products in a limited market to test acceptance. Example, Bench, the Philippine clothing brand, tests a small pop-up shop in Dubai before investing in a full-scale outlet. Next, let's go on online analytics in global market research. So what is this? Digital technologies now allow faster data-driven research. Online analytics refers to using internet-based tools to collect, measure, and interpret consumer behavior. Example of these tools or key tools, we have Google Trends. Shows what people search for globally. Again, another one is social media analytics. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube provide data on engagement and demographics. Next, we have e-commerce analytics. We have data from Lazada, Shopee, or Amazon reveal top-selling products and customer review. A pickle-based pili nut producer wants to sell in the United States. By checking Amazon reviews, they discovered that the United States consumer love healthy snacks alternative. By monitoring Google Trends, they see upward trends in keto-friendly snacks. This directs them to market pili nut as a superfood for the keto market. Keto is a healthy diet, no? And that's it's like a diet where it's a diet, yeah, a diet strategy to lose weight. Number 4, combining methods, the best practices. Now start with the secondary research. That is a desk research, no, to save money and filter possible markets. Then, after getting some information, you move to primary research for deeper cultural and consumer insights. Use online analytics to confirm and monitor consumer behavior in real time. Example, no? A Pampanga delicacy brand, Tocino and Langgonisa, aiming to enter the Canada market. First, conduct research. Secondary research. Use the Philippine Embassy trade reports to identify where Filipino communities live, like Toronto or Vancouver. Then do a primary research. Conduct surveys among Filipino Canadians on whether they prefer frozen packs or ready-to-cook meals. Then do an online analytics. Track Facebook group discussion among Pinoys in Canada about favorite comfort foods. Challenges in global market research. So here are the challenges. So number 1, of course, we have the cultural differences. Misinterpretation of the behavior. Next is language barrier. Surveys may lose meaning when translated. Next is data reliability. Some foreign markets lack updated or transparent data. And especially now, the cost, no? Especially for primary research in distant countries. When San Miguel Beer researched the Chinese market, they initially misjudged drinking culture. Chinese consumers preferred lighter, sweeter beer than the bold taste popular in the Philippines. Without proper local testing, early sales lagged. Okay, so this is a suggested lang, no? A practical activity for students. Example, imagine a scenario you are part of a Filipino SME exporting dried mangoes. So what do? Number 1, conduct secondary research, and that is desk research, no? Which 3 countries import the most dried mangoes? So you go over the internet and look for this, no? This data. Then suggest 1 primary research method to know foreign consumer taste preference. So it could be a focus group, or you do real research, go to that market. And lastly, use online analytics like Google Trends or TikTok hashtag to find how dried mangoes are promoted globally. Now, in conclusion, global market research is the backbone of successful international marketing. It blends secondary research for efficiency, primary research for accuracy, and online analytics for real-time insight. Again, secondary research for efficiency so that you know where the problem lies. And next, you conduct the primary research for real accuracy. You go down to the market. And then go on online analytics for real-time insights. For Filipino businesses, applying these methods help produce products like Jollibee, burgers, Cebu furniture, or Mindanao foods completely confidently in the global stage. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the lecture and you learned much. See you on the next session. Thank you for watching.